What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. As y'all know, it's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please hit that subscribe button. Each one, teach one, share our content, talk about it, be about it. And we appreciate your guys' support in getting us this far. Now, today, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by Dougie Fresh. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, son. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. Now, Dougie Fresh has so much we're going to talk about today. But one thing that's super exciting for me, for longtime followers of the channel know I love go-go, and Dougie Fresh just put out, this one's for Chuck Brown. Dougie Fresh salutes the godfather of go-go. So yes. This album, not only is it incredible, but it's also your first album since Play, as far as I know. So what led to this huge gap between Play and this one's for Chuck Brown?
Well, pretty much I was touring and Play came out on G Street Records. And when it came out on G Street Records, that was the label at that time. And then I left G Street and I went to Motown. And Andre Harrell was on Motown Records. And I was getting ready to do my thing over there. I had Miss Jones signed over there. I was doing a bunch of different things. Little Vicious was on Sony. So I was looking at going over to Motown because me and Andre Harrell have always been trying to get together to do something special. But we things never really worked out. So when he was over at Motown, they let him go as the president. So when they let him go as the president, it made me feel like that's why I came to Motown, because of him. So for me to stay at Motown and try to put together a team, that's been the history of a lot of the labels I've been dealing with since day one. I said, I'd rather leave Motown and tour with Prince. And Prince at the time had Slave written on his face. And he obviously wasn't Prince, he was the artist, formerly known as Prince. So what happened is we started to team up. And every day we would get together, or when we would get together, we would be rehearsing. And he'd be like, yo, are you free? Are you free? And it would be me, him, Shaka Khan, Larry Graham, Maceo, Najee. The lineup was crazy, man. Mike Phillips, he'd be like, are you free? And I'd be like, nah, but I'm getting ready. So everybody that was with him was free. The only person that wasn't free was me. So he kept asking me, are you free? And then one day I came in there and I said, I got a release from Motown, I'm free. And everybody was like, he's free. You know what I'm saying? So it was that kind of a thing. So from there, I was touring anyway, but I just started touring even more intense. And then I was trying to do my independent thing. And I thought I was going to do it with my lawyer at the time, but that didn't work out because we started to realize that doing it independently costs you quite a bit of money. So it slowed that process up. So what I did is I didn't really want to deal with any more labels. So I just went straight on ahead and started touring and doing 100 shows a year, 150 shows, 175. We got up to the point where I was definitely at like 200 shows in a year, So it was a lot of touring, a lot of fun. And I kept myself focused on that because that's where the enjoyment was coming from. Because that was the whole purpose of me doing it. Like, I enjoyed making records, but I didn't enjoy the politics and the game behind making records. See, because I probably am the only artist that I know that's been on probably close to 9 record labels.
Yeah.
So that's the answer.
The first I remember was Vintertainment.
And I was on 2 or 3 other labels before that. I was on Spotlight, Top Light. I was on PC Records. I was on Enjoy Records. I'm one of the only guys out there that ever been on Enjoy Records that's still making records. Then I went and then Vintertainment. And then there was Atlantic with the Beat Street Project. I wasn't really signed to them, but it was still another situation. And then came, huh?
Sound makers, sound makers.
Sound makers, right? Then you got sound makers. Which one was the sound makers?
Just having fun with Enjoy.
Right. But you said sound makers. But why you say sound makers?
Because I thought one of the pressings had sound makers and Enjoy together.
Well, see, that's new to me. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't even know. But look, see, I know you do this a lot. You do this a lot. So okay. So then after reality changed the name to Dania. Then after Dania Records, then Busted. Then after Busted, I went to G Street, which was Island. And Busted was Capital in G Street. Then I went to Island. And after Island, I went to Motown. I think it's more than 9.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, man. Oh, and before Spotlight, Top Light, it was Streetwise Records, which is what New Edition was signed to. And then Morris Levy got locked up right when I was doing the single and the label got dissolved. And Arthur Baker was one of the guys who was involved with the label. So I have had some of the most craziest times running through different labels. So at that moment, I said, I'm gonna give myself a break. And then when I was trying to do it independently, and I thought I had my guy who was gonna lock in with me, he didn't realize how much it was gonna cost. I didn't, but I was already in it to win it. But still, he didn't realize it. So afterwards, I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tour. And then me and Prince toured from 99 to 2016. And I would be going in and out of all of these various different events. We would do several events every year, quite a few.
Well, I went to probably in 2005 or 6, no, 2015 or 16. You were at Yo-Yo's birthday party I was at. That was a lot.
Right. I remember that, man. Yeah. And Yo-Yo, Yo-Yo's family, man, we rock since day one. We always been cool since day one. And, and so I don't know, man, I just felt like the touring was what I was supposed to do, I guess, to build up my skills to the level that I was able to build them up to give me an ability to communicate and perform in a way that most people don't really have the ability. They have the ability, but they haven't exercised that muscle enough to really do it, See, because I come from the era of hip hop where performing was first, and then you made records. See, you had to have skills. You had to know how to rhyme. You had to know how to have stage presence. And then if you make a record, that was just going to give you more exposure. But even if you didn't make a record, for those around the way that see you, they're looking at you going, is he good? Is he not? Can he rhyme? Can he perform? So that's the game. That's the time I came up,
Yeah. Well, now as far as this one's for Chuck Brown, your new album, I was so excited about it because I love go-go. But then as you have the In the Building intro and you shout out the Capitol Center, and as a young man, I was able to go to a few shows. I got to see Rare Essence there. I got to see. I'm trying to think of all the big shows, but Rare Essence was the biggest one that I saw that was headlining at the Capitol Center. So for people, since you shouted out on In the Building, I wanted you to explain for you, since you performed there, of course, explain the significance of the Capitol Center.
The Capitol Center is what I would consider, it was like the mecca of like when you do a go-go concert and you're at the Capitol Center, or you do any event and you're at the Capitol Center, it's an incredible accomplishment. It's an incredible experience because the way the Capitol Center was, the audience just kept going up and up and up. And it was like a round, I remember it was all the way around and it was, and it was one of the biggest places I played in the early parts of my career. Capitol Center is bigger than Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Capital Center was hold 20,000. You know what I mean? At least back then, that was the number I was told. So I didn't even know how big the Capitol Center was until I played it that day in 1985, brother. I played Capitol Center. I did not know what I was walking into. Run DMC played it before. So running them was around the block one of the, they had their records and they was rolling around doing different events. And so he told me, yo, wait until he said, did you ever see Chuck Brown before? I said, nah, man. He said, man, wait until you see this. And I thought he was gassing it up. But I always liked Chuck Brown because I used to play him on the jukebox in New York City. But that night, when I went to the Capitol Center and I got to see Chuck put it down, that was the end. That was the beginning. But it was like, there was no way you walking out of there and you didn't really get the full impact. It was like you went to another universe damn near, because the way the people were moving, I didn't see nothing like that. I didn't even see nothing like that in hip hop. I've never seen the whole building shaking. Like the whole building was shaking. And I came in there and I said, Run told the truth. He told the truth. This one here is unbelievable. And then after, I went backstage and me and Chuck started talking. I said, man, this is unbelievable, man. This is crazy, this is this. And he was smiling and said, you like it? You like that go-go thing, don't you? You like that go-go thing? I said, you know I like that go-go thing. And then we started talking and, and we became really, really close quick, man. Talk about push-ups, talk about how he was exercising, how, don't ever stop your push-ups and things that there's things that I was doing, but I didn't know that somebody else was doing it. And when I seen him, I was like, oh, you do that too? And then, and I was like, and he said, yeah, and I do them on the wall. I do handstand push-ups. I was like, all right. And, and Chuck was diesel me. Chuck was in shape, so it was one of those times, man, where I would never forget the way I felt when I seen it. And that's why when I made this song, when I wrote this song, Chuck Brown, which came to me kind of like in a dream, I just wrote everything that I seen, everything that I experienced, as much as I could, condensed in a way where people can get what this is and who Chuck Brown is. Like, I wanted them to really understand who this man was. If you don't know him, I'm going to explain to you who he is. I'm going to show you why he is the godfather of go-go.
And on Chuck Brown, tied into all of that with the exercise and everything, I love the line where you said he never retired because he never got tired. That's my favorite line on the whole song.
Right.
And I got to see him a number of times over the years and talk to him and meet him. And, he was a professional boxer or an amateur boxer back in the day and all this stuff. So I knew fitness was a big thing for him. But the fact that he was able to perform into his 70s and do several shows a week still.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah. So what, as you saw him later in his life, and as you progressed, what impressed you as his musicianship developed and, he kept going, that like the music? How do you think as a performer, you were able to draw from that or learn from what he was doing once he got into his 50s and 60s and 70s?
Well, yeah, because one of the things that I learned from Chuck was he enjoyed what he was doing. He enjoyed making people enjoy. He enjoyed making people enjoy. And it filled him up with more energy, more life, more love. And I've always said this, if you are doing something that you love and you really enjoy it, why are you stopping it? What is it that's making you stop it? Oh, because somebody said you're too old, because somebody said you shouldn't. If you don't take nothing from Chuck Brown, he never retired because he never got tired, always got hired, very admired. You see what I'm saying? From DC to overseas, he inspired. So much is given, much is required. You see? So for me, I look at it as I watched him take responsibility. I watched how he was that guy that was just friendly to everybody. I watched him go into his 70s and on the Capitol lawn calling me up, come on, let's get it on. And I watched him still enjoy it. Yeah, you know, you got to make money to survive, but it wasn't a money thing. See, the money was a bonus because when you're dealing with certain artists or true artists, the money is only the bonus, the fuel to give you the ability to sustain and take care of yourself and your family and the things that you want to take care of in order to have the freedom to do the art. So Chuck was that guy that you've seen that about him. You know, he wore that. I mean, from 85 all the way through, I never seen him change. We did all kind of events. If I run into a club and he's playing, Chuck is there. I'll jump up on the stage. I don't want no money. I don't want nothing. I'm just there because Chuck is there. I remember one of the last times I came through the back door. I said, don't tell him I'm here. I came through the back door and I stood up on the stage right there on the side of him. The audience started going crazy and he was trying to look at what was going on. He turned around and looked at me. He said, oh man, this is, look. And he said, and then he just turned around and told the band to do something, like just play the beat, you know, like hit it. And then I just got into it with him. And it was those magical moments that made me feel alive. So if I had to say, what did I get from Chuck? To always be alive, to always do what you love, and don't ever let age and people's outlook on age change the way you feel about the thing that you love. Because once you do that, you fell into the trap. You see what I'm saying? See, in life, sometimes you're too young when you want to do something. When you was younger, they'd be like, yo, you're too young, kid, you can't get in here. Then when you get a little older, yo, you're too old to be doing that, man. Well, when is the right time, man? When is the right time? So, and the right time is being defined by somebody else, not by you. So you have to define the right time. Chuck had a spirit of a kid. He was like a young man. His body was getting older, as all of our bodies are going to do, but his spirit was just playful, young, all of that. He had a similar spirit to Biz Markie. But Biz was just ridiculous. He was just ridiculous. He was just joking around all day, play around all day. But it's that spirit of youthfulness that keep you, you know, happy and energized. So every time he got on, man, I enjoyed it, bro. I enjoyed it.
Well, that's clear throughout the This One's for Chuck Brown album.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for
just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Your MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The history of gangster rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The history of gangster rap in stores now.